Folks, what is Greece if not incredibly, incredibly angry about everything that we do and that we have done? Being a minor member of a market, in this case the Russian market, is a big benefit in general because it means that we can utilize whatever they got going on, and it will indeed be great. But it also means that if their market access suffers because somebody raids their convoys, that is English right there, we will also suffer, and we will suffer quite a bit more, in my opinion, at the very least. It hits us to an incredible, incredible degree. But frankly, I'm looking at this right now, and I don't even think they really have a lot of radicals. I think the Russians are just doing fine. And look at that population explosion, by the way. It could be even better if the Russians had an even stronger church faction, but I assume that, yep, the church is giving them a massive bonus right here. If this was 20% my guard, we would see a massive, massive increase in Russians in the world all over. Now, the thing is, we are in a country where we just had an economic shock. It happened right after our war against the Ottomans because the Russians got into a small fight right after again, and that actually pushed down our debt limit quite significantly. This also then, led to everybody being incredibly angry. Now, we do have elections coming up, and I think this might be the episode where we leave Russia, honestly. I'm scared, though. Leaving markets is always so scary. No matter what we do, no matter what you think, we just need somebody that doesn't constantly throw away their convoys. For the time being, let's just enjoy that we exist, and maybe we just will exist without any given market going forward. We shall see. Listen, it doesn't matter to me. We'll figure it out. Right now, all I'm interested in is actually sort of seeing this election play out and maybe shifting to the French party indeed. I did also take the liberty, by the way, and turned King Maximilian von Wittelsbach into, you can see it right here, an Orthodox fella. He is not Greek by any means. I assume that he speaks Greek. I mean, his father actually spoke Greek quite well as well, but he's not Greek. He's Bavarian, all things considered, and he is in a position where he wants to pander to the Greek population, be that with more liberties, or be that just by, being Orthodox. He commits himself to the Orthodox rite indeed. Now, I do think something that as a pacifist he would like to get rid of is probably serfdom. I don't think we're going to be pushing for smallholding. Oh my god! They will love it though, that is crazy. We're going to see how this election goes, and then we shall see what we can do with this country. Alright, the elections have ended, and the English party has performed very poorly. Actually, not that poorly at all. They got 2.6, I think that is a slight betterment of themselves. The French party, 44.5%, and then the Russian party, 52.7%. I can actually change my government. I would do it. Listen, I am willing to find a compromise when it comes to, for example, serfdom. I'm willing to do a great many things, but I can't actually do it with them because, well, yep, there is absolutely no way that this government would be legitimate. I think, from the way that I perceive this, I hope that they will start some sort of movement, even enact protectionism maybe. We need to give some concessions, and I am willing to give some concessions. It's just, a question of when and why and how. Let's take a look. Maybe we can, achieve something here. Maybe we will stagnate. That is completely valid. Oh, and the French are now turning Algeria into a puppet. So everything is coming along quite nicely. There's another uprising against the Austrians right here. I assume that they're going to win this one as well. They won the first one already. This is quite interesting. I think Austria might grab all of Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia to France. I wonder whether Italy will do anything. I don't think they currently have any colonies whatsoever. Let me check this. Oh, they do have colonial exploitation. I guess they just don't have the tech yet to focus on that. And the Germans also have colonial exploitation. And a very, very government. Man, I wish this was me. I really do. Sadly, I don't have the capacities for this, but yeah, okay, we are in an okay spot in many, many ways. The question is just whether we can maintain it. And oh boy, okay, so what the intelligentsia is now focusing on is propertied women. Propertied women is not a bad law at all. More workforce ratio would be great, but my god, I was really hoping for something that really pushes us ahead when it comes to who we are as a country, and instead we're really not getting this. Any of these would have been really nice. Serfdom, of course, amazing. When it comes to propertied women, the problem here is that we will fall out of the grace immediately when it comes to the Orthodox Church, and I mean, they're doing us a huge favor. Just look at this increase in growth right here. I do want to reiterate, by the way, the Orthodox Church is as powerful as it is because, well, urban centers in this mod actually work. When you look at that, we got covered markets right here, we got gas streetlights, we got a beautiful urban center, and still it is profitable. What's the reason for this, you might ask? And the answer is really simply put, I changed the values. And this now makes it so, since it's profitable, that the Orthodox Church can also exist and be strong even in the endgame. Losing their approval would be pretty disastrous. Please decide for something else, intelligentsia, I beg you. And man, we are actually so cursed. So the petite bourgeoisie just changed its leader, but they remained radical. I think it's very fair to say that much of the establishment here isn't just unhappy with the old order, but they are fundamentally unhappy with the kingdom, which makes it so that King Maximilian's ambition to give them more rights, to do more things that they enjoy, makes even more sense, because they aren't asking for liberties anymore, they're asking for a republic, and they have been doing this for many decades now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this radicalism, this aggression here against legal guardianship, I'm gonna concede. I will give them this concession. Let's hope that it doesn't, you know, disturb the old order right here too much, but yeah, we gotta open up if we want to stay on as king. Ooh, and Italy has found its first colony here in South Cameroon, also probably its last, because, well, the rest has been taken, of course, by the Netherlands. Germany has now started to colonize its territory right here. I assume that others will try to get in on this as well. We shall see how it goes. There will be some border go, but since people get claims, they will also fight over it and, of course, determine a winner. The important part here now is that the access that we have to Sokoto is Italy, Britain, and then, of course, France, right? Benin is a French puppet. Indeed, they are. I am thinking, I don't want to necessarily get in against Sokoto, but the homie would be great. You know this? Are they protected by anybody? A lot of people hate them. Spain, I guess, would protect them. I don't have an interest there right now. We really need to... You know what I think? I think we need to leave the Russian market. We leave the market, we become independent, we have a surplus of bureaucracy anyway, and we try our best to maintain our own position. We'll see, okay? Let's try to figure this out. You know, looking at this now, I suppose that for the old order, the question of propertied women wasn't as much as a sticking point as I feared. The landowners and the Orthodox Church, sure, they're no longer happy with us, but they certainly aren't looking at us, you know, with a very, very angry glare. I think we want to get away with this one. Oh, and speak of the devil. Speak of the devil, my god. Germany is taking the homie. Do they have a formal alliance now? Oh my god. Was I blind last time? I thought they didn't have a formal alliance. Well, they clearly do. And public address goes Ori. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of propertied women by Odysseus Vasilakos has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the trade unions. They barely just made it into existence, and already everybody hates them. He must take the blame for the setback, or it is the fault of this poorly thought through proposal. I will say he must take the blame here. I think, yes, sure, they all believe in radical things, but the trade unions have as much in common with the intelligentsia as the landowners have with the petite bourgeoisie. I think he must take the blame for this, sure. Oh my god. What? What the hell? It's 1893, okay? What the hell? Revolution in the Midwest. Communist America started a revolution diplomatic play. What is happening? We have a feminist right here. You're not communist. Oh, but it is a council republic. Oh my god. Wait a minute. But you're not communist. Why? What actually happened here? Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is an agrarian council republic, as close as we can get to a truly agrarian workers' nation without urban workers. And they are revolting. They still have slavery, very much still do. What are they revolting against? Oh, mass conscription. This is the don't tread on me crowd rebelling against the idea of America becoming a militarized nation. Now, what is going on, though, is that the US have a pact with Britain, and this should end this rebellion quite quickly, right? Oh my god, the number, my god! Wait, no, they have national militia. The number of troops they might mobilize here. Chairman Cullen Baker, a communist. Huh. Oh, I think I know what it is. This fella was the leader of the rural folk until he became the leader. And now we have a feminist in charge instead. Wow. A council republic. How many rights do they actually have? Compulsory primary school, propertied women. A council republic with slavery and no urban class. Incredible. Jesus Christ. Let's see whether they will prevail here. Man, the game really went, well, listen, buddy, you didn't have a civil war. Don't worry about it. We're gonna throw something much more massive at you. Look at the numbers being mobilized right here. And if Washington, D.C. falls, that would actually be kind of it, right? If Washington, D.C. falls, you're looking at a situation where all of a sudden the war score is ticking against them. Now, let me just ask you this. Where is the capital of this rebellion? I can't even see, apparently. Where are you? It's set in the Midwest, so I assume it's like somewhere over here, maybe. Huh. Let me just zoom towards this, okay? Oh, it's right here. It is this Ohio? Ohio is taking control of America. Columbus, the capital of America. Would you believe that? Yep, and here you go. The trade unions just can't keep it together. They are the weakest link of all of this, it seems. Loosen our purse strings? I don't think so. Splitters. May the devil take them. Listen, we are trying to accommodate them. If they're too stupid to get it done, then, I mean, what do you want me to do? And you know what? I'm gonna let this go for one more tick, okay? Oh, wait a minute. The Orthodox Church rerolled. They're reformers now. They actually support this new direction. Wow, okay, they are clearly following the path, following the line of thought of the king, who is Orthodox. Makes perfect sense to me. I'm gonna let this roll on. I love this movement. I do not want this movement to be wasted, okay? We need to take care of that. Universal suffrage would be a massive step for liberalization of the country without abolishing the kingdom. Oh, and they're losing. It looks like the Council Republic General Zalman Phiele here. It looks like he isn't going to win. He is hated as well, which is bad for his performance. The Brazilians are defending Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, the British are pushing into Ohio. This very first world revolution does not seem to be successful. In the West, they're winning, I guess, but yeah, that's not going to settle it. Let me take a look at your debt, by the way. There is no way whatsoever that they can maintain this amount of troops. This is a crazy war in terms of cost of war. How are you doing? Let me take a look at this, right? Size of the loans is already plus 64. Yeah, in just a couple of weeks, they will be ready to capitulate just because, well, you know, they are simply over-leveraged. Oh, but the United States of America are also in bankruptcy. Ah, this is a wild war. This is a wild place. Yeah, I think Ohio will settle. Oh, and they're actually pushing through in the north. It's just Washington, D.C. that held. What a shame. If the British hadn't intervened, we would have actually seen the very first Council Republic ever. At least, to my knowledge. Yeah, but now Ohio has fallen. Canada is marching into Columbus. And I guess that settles that. And at the same time, a Navajo uprising. This is the last of the Native Americans rearing their head in an attempt to be free, in an attempt, wow, to be communist and feminist. Very interesting. A presidential republic, still legacy slavery. I mean, these are the old laws, right, of the nation that they are breaking free from. Man, this Council Republic is a wild place, but as I said, I don't think they're gonna win this. A landmark case. In a legal case that has grabbed the attention of the whole country, a judge has ruled that domestic violence is grounds for divorce. We are making slow progress right here. He struck her again and again, simply for dropping a plate. This was only the latest in a series of beatings stretching from honeymoon to present day. How can we commit any woman to this endless punishment? Divorce for women in violent situations is not just fair, it is the very embodiment of justice. You know, it really makes me think. The case of the Greek nation, I think, obviously still plays a role. We still have many, many Greeks that live, for example, in the Ottoman Empire. We have the idea, the Megali idea, that still plays a role. But it sort of has taken, you know, it's fallen into the back scene of all of this. Because with how oppressive we have been, with how conservative, no, with how reactionary our society has been, everything truly has turned inwards. I mean, yep, just look at that, right? So I will say this supports our case immensely. I will give this one more roll. You can see they have now initiated a revolution here. This is less about can we be the Greek nation? Can we be the Eastern Romans? This now is more, can we be a nation against these quasi-feudal overlords that we have? Okay. I will take it. That's pretty funny. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. That's pretty funny. Chairman Cullen Baker. The United States of America actually capitulated. The United Syndicates of America welcomed them to the world, and they also apparently immediately signed a peace treaty with the Navajo. This will end in nothing. That seems like a very funny bug, but look at that. Oh my god. We have a council republic. That is insane. Wow. I love that, and I didn't expect that. That is crazy. No slavery civil war, I guess, but we now have rural communism right here. I love how immediately everybody is like, yo, I think I hate this guy. Except France. France is like, yeah, I hate Britain and Germany too, buddy. Yep, and that is the death knell, isn't it? The French party now is in control. Oh my god, the armed forces are so close to being marginalized. That is incredible. They're not even running in this, by the way. Did not qualify to join anybody. Oh my god, they've become nihilists. Oh, that is wild. That is pretty wild indeed. A hysterical claim. What is this? A recently published paper on hysteria in women has been gaining traction in the medical community. The paper is being used as anti-women's rights propaganda against the propertied women law. Maybe we can do our own research. You know what? Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see this through, and we succeeded here, by the way. I would like to see this through, but man, in just about like a year, no, actually in like 5 years, our scene here has dramatically shifted. Think about this. The Orthodox Church is reformist. They want to reform society. They like cultural exclusion. They like propertied women, and they like compulsory primary school. On the other hand, the landowners, of course, are where they have always been, really, ultimately speaking. The armed forces have turned against God and against King. Wow. Yeah, did not see that coming. Which now means that the French party all of a sudden is superior. Oh my god, and we have finally done it. Propertied women took us long enough. Jesus Christ. I guess this is one of those very, very intense baseline debates in our society. And now we shall continue, because universal suffrage is coming, yet again making the Orthodox Church quite unhappy. But I think it makes a lot of sense. If we want to prevail, if we want to go into the next century as a monarchy, I think a couple more rights are necessary. I mean, it has worked right here in Germany. It has worked, of course, in Britain. It has worked in France and Austria. All of these countries have quite liberal suffrage laws, and all of them are fairly solid, whereas we, yeah, we struggle a bit. Oh, yep, and there they go. The landowners have indeed left the party. They have left the government. They have become revolutionary, and while they aren't quite wanting to do that yet, it is motivated by us basically destroying the old order. The landowners aren't all that happy with it. Now, that does mean that I'm just going to take in the French party into government. Now, they are now in government, which should make this, yep, a 100% chance of passing this. We shall see how it goes. The order is definitely being shaken up here. I was hoping the landowners, you know, wouldn't just get this agitated, but here we are. It is what it is. I'm not going to, you know, coddle them. We need to enter a new century. Alright, and there you have it. We now have universal suffrage. The big question is, how angry are they gonna be? Oh my god, and I don't like this. The Orthodox Church joining this. Can I pass anything that you would like? Censorship, wealth voting? Why can't I do this right here? The trade unions are marginalized. The Church wants it as well. Ah, right. You are still together in the Russian party. Now, next elections are only in about 3 years. Yeah, we will have to live with an unacceptable government for the time being, I suppose. It's very, very difficult to do anything else. Let me take a look around here, right? I don't think we're going to get rid of state religion. I think that is fine. We might. I mean, we might. They are already so agitated. Going with the elected bureaucrats. You know, I gotta tell you, the intelligentsia has played a massively important role for us this entire time. However, the petite bourgeoisie, interestingly enough, actually, the entire time has been present as a nationalist Greek and a Greek state sort of faction. I think I'm going to push for elected bureaucrats here. I don't think it's going to make them even angrier. And this is very, very rare. Normally, elected bureaucrats is never chosen because the petite bourgeoisie doesn't exist, but in this case, we should be in a position where we can benefit off of a petite bourgeoisie being strong quite long term. Even now, I mean, look at this. Oh, this is so good. Minus 10% loan interest rate. Thank God. I was in the hole there for a minute. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, wow. And that was fast. Now, I will tell you, we are not going to become a Russian protectorate. Don't even think about that, buddy. But I do think we might reform a bit further here, right? Migration controls. I mean, that doesn't really matter that much. Protected speech. Honestly, I feel like that would be very important to them, but oh man, you know what's even more important to them? Small holding. Wow, let's talk about this, okay? This is a massive reform, and I love the small holding law, okay? In 1.3 it will be amazing, I will play so often with it, but I want to make something very clear here. This is a radical law. We are taking away the property of the landowners. This must be very, very clear, okay? Now the reality of it, though, is that the landowners are the arch nemesis of the petite bourgeoisie, the intelligentsia, the industrialists, and the armed forces at this point. We have landowners that aren't just sort of, oh, we stand in your way, in the way of progress. No, no, we have landowners that very proactively moved their countrymen on the behest of a Bavarian king into serfdom. Universal suffrage, I would argue now, has basically already declawed the king to quite the reasonable degree. I would argue that at this point, the Greek populace doesn't view the king as this big of an issue. you know, he's fine. He's Orthodox, he can stay, he has sided with the French party, he has named them his loyal government. But I think the landowners, even the Greek ones, are seen as traitors to the cause. At the very least, land ownership ceiling should happen, but I'll be honest with you, look at this. Most people just want this. It's just very, very clear here. I would push for small holdings. We will make sure that our populace views this land as their land and that no foreign landowner can ever come into Greece and then do whatever they want with the citizens of this country. It's so interesting, you know, usually when we play this game, and we're definitely not going like communist. We literally, by the way, don't even know what communism is right now, okay? Don't worry about it too much. I'm desperately trying to go for malaria prevention, although I think it might be a waste of effort. I don't think we're going to get there. I just don't have the money for enough universities to really get it done. But let's put that aside. This is the final resolution of the entire conflict of this series so far, right? Because everything that we have done was led and was continued and was brought upon this nation by the landowners. When we allied with Russia, we did this with this exact thing in mind. And by the way, let me just... they haven't changed any laws yet. I mean, he is willing to liberalize, but he's just not doing it. Well, anyway, where I'm coming from here is the idea that we have, of course, the conflict with the Ottomans over Greek lands. But the ultimate conflict was always between the ruler and the ruled. And our ruler has found a compromise. It's just not going to be so well, going so well for the Greek landowners. This is so fascinating. The ultimate resolution here is not one of progress, of nationalism or whatever. The ultimate resolution right now is one of the people truly taking the power in a rural sense. Quite frankly, we have more in common with Chairwoman Sylvia Alger than we have with Russia or Britain or Germany in many, many ways. Not that we would ally with them. What are you doing, brother? Oh, God. Eastern New Guinea? Yep. Every now and again, you can do whatever you want, but it's gonna be ugly, and you can see it right here. It's very ugly. Eastern New Guinea is one of those troubled regions similar here. The Netherlands sadly went in here. I can only hope that Germany will be getting a claim. The Netherlands have a claim on this? Oh my god. We shall see how this goes, okay? They are in the same market. This is basically one colonial effort. It might look ugly, but yeah, it's one colonial effort. They also took Dahomey. This is such an interesting timeline. Oh, and the radical leader of the petite bourgeoisie has retired. Which now makes it so that this moderate is pushing us far, far below where we need to be. I don't even think this would do it, right? Just for a check, 23. I think we need 25, yeah. Oh, we can't even do it. Alright, that is difficult. We gotta wait for the next election. And they gotta sweep it. Because, yeah, this is a good success chance, but we literally cannot progress this law because we have an illegitimate government. Alright. Okay, France is now annexing Algeria, and Britain is using this opportunity to start a major war over this. You can see right now Algeria will obviously lose. They don't have a coast or anything, but France now demands the West Indies, which makes it so that, you know, should this war continue, obviously Britain actually, you know, can hold this and not fall below zero. But Britain wants Benin. So we have an actual major conflict here, and look at that. Russia is going for North Borneo. Oh, interesting. Wait a minute. Are you this? Who's this? Who is that? What? Let me just check this, okay? Where the hell is this province? Oh, Borneo. I am blind. Alright, yeah. They're going for North Borneo right here. Benin might fall into British hands, then finishing off their control of Nigeria here, and potentially making them the aggressor against Sokoto as well. Very, very interesting. Oh, and I am so glad, okay? I am so glad. We're going to see a massive victory here for the French party, and this is so important because then I can finally get some legitimacy back, okay? If we manage to pass this, we would actually probably be killing the Greek landowners and strengthen the Greek nation, it must be said. That is definitely something that goes into this. This election looks good to me. The Russian party has really plummeted, and the agrarian party is now very strong. An agrarian party / French party government, or maybe even just an agrarian party government, we shall see, okay? Most importantly here, I reckon, we need to go on and abolish serfdom properly. The Greek Guinea crop failure. You know what? I will help where I can. Alright, and now in this particular war, you can see Algeria, yep, has been annexed, but the war in Benin is still going, and if I'm not mistaken here, yep, the British are going to push through here. Wow, this was a massive battle. That is wow, that is incredible. We're going to see this as a massive shift, and I think Benin will fall to Great Britain. I don't know about the West Indies. There doesn't seem to be a front line there. Maybe they just ignored it? Oh, France actually took it. Wait a minute. Are they going to win wholesale? Just 100%? Oh, yeah. Wow, that is incredible. We shall see what happens. This is quite the decisive war. Alright, so what are the most efficient governments that I can form? I can keep this one. I could technically go with the rural folk alone. Obviously if I go with this, yep, that is just terrible. Does absolutely nothing for us. The rule folk alone would have more legitimacy and I wouldn't have to drop down that much, but obviously our chance to pass smallholding wouldn't, yeah, it would drop, man, like a rock. Just not all that great. I am thinking, if we keep this government, my property, if I drop it this far, we can probably make this happen. I can pass this and maybe reform my government afterwards. This will hurt my purse, but it is what it takes, isn't it? Let's try to see this through. Let's go! Oh my god, it's done. We now have smallholding. Farmers' investment pool contribution efficiency goes up. Obviously, we get some negatives right here. Oh, it's not declared anyway. Here, it's actually declared right there. Land redistribution is gonna impact us slightly negatively, but it's fine. We had the surplus in bureaucracy. And that means the landowners are going out of the window. Watch them drop, okay? And you know what? We have now built a very different state. Think about it. The professional army is no longer really a friend of ours. Yes, sure, they're still here, but they are nihilists. And I think the compromise that we're entering here might be... it might indeed be that we switch to national militia. Because that, yet again, gives the power to the common man rather than to some high and mighty overlord. You know what? We're going to become a very, very consensus-based monarchy. Hopefully, making the non-monarchists happy and letting our king live on the throne. Oh my god, just look at this. This is so amazing. The landowners are actively dying as we speak. Absolutely beautiful. And for the first time in literally forever, Greece is recovering. Look at this drop in number of radicals. Now, granted, it has to do with serfdom, it has to do with the lower tax, it has to do with so many things. But it doesn't really matter, because all this really means for us is that for the very first time, being a monarchy is accepted by our population. Now this right here, I am very much still disgusted. Again, they are in the same market. It's basically the same for them, but let me just verify this right here. Are there any type of claims? Yeah, Germany got a claim, so if they should ever fall apart, if they should ever oppose one another, Germany would have a claim on this region and could push against them. I do fear, though, that the Netherlands are gonna do like this, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty disgusting, okay? And oh my god, you know what just happened? You know what just happened? The Ottoman Empire, after all this time, no longer has an ally in France. Now let me see whether we can push this through here. It's unlikely. Yeah, low stall. You know what? It's not happening, okay? This was just an attempt into this direction, but ultimately it is what it is. What matters much, much more now is Ottomans. I think... Nope, that is Russia. Ottomans. I think it is time. It is time for me to reclaim evermore. I think Northern Thrace and Eastern Thrace are on the menu right now. You know what? If I find it, I would like to declare it probably for Northern Thrace. Cyprus, Russia. The others are just looking, I guess. I think it's time, yeah. Wow. I cannot believe this. What an incredibly intense episode right here. But we are not done yet, of course, with our reconquest of everything that we consider to be rightfully ours. There is still some issue here, of course. This is a defensive pact Germany has with Egypt, and Egypt now is in the British market, which, by the way, this looks beautiful, doesn't it? If they... Ah, man, they are so close to actually connecting all the way down. Anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna go against the Ottomans. But quite frankly, today was a day of massive, massive reform. Tomorrow, we will continue into the future. For now, I will see you later, alligator.